Welcome to my Logic tier ranking all of Logic's albums from worst to best. Logic just released his new project, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I've been listening to that all night simply for the fact that I want to believe that Logic makes good music again. And in reality, we'll find out if he actually does. Worst to best tier list maker. This is a popular thing right now, so we'll get the obvious one out of the way. But first, to prove that I'm a Logic fan, I want to show you some very vulnerable stuff that I've bought from Logic, like in 2014, 2015, to prove I'm a Logic fan. Logic signed poster of The Incredible True Story. By now is probably getting devalued as anything. So if any of you guys want this, I'll have to probably pay you to take it from me, because that's probably how much it's worth now, unfortunately. All the shirts, all the Logic shirts, bro. This is my drawer of shirts I don't use, but these are all Logic. We got the Under Pressure album, which I bought like 3 times. I bought it once in real life, once the edited version, and then once the digital deluxe version. And then the Incredible True Story Logic. I absolutely hated this when it first came out. I hated the CD design. Like, what is this? This isn't even. This is just cardboard. So the easiest one I could get out the way, Supermarket. Let's put that there. By far his worst album, even though if he says it's not an album, it's a soundtrack to his book. So, woohoo, good job. You made a project, just essentially a bunch of remixes to popular rap song, but you made them like indie folk pop, like indie style rock music. And this is essentially his Kid Cudi Speeding Bullet to Heaven project, except for Kid Cudi project was original, and this is just essentially stolen flows, stolen lyrics, remixes. And when I say stolen, I don't mean like he literally jacked them. It's just essentially remixes, like his mixtape days, I guess, but a lot worse than his mixtape days. So yeah, his second worst album, E for Everybody. This is the downfall for me with Logic. This is where I stopped being a fan of him, and I still want him to succeed, even though if I don't like any of his new stuff anymore. I still want him to succeed because he was such a big part of my life at one point, and you kind of want him to win, but it's at the same time kind of hard to want him to win, simply for the fact that he doesn't make good music and he's super corny now. I said Supermarket was kind of like Kid Cudi's Speeding Bullet to Heaven, like Logic's Speeding Bullet to Heaven. Everybody's kind of like a Kanye album, a Kanye gospel album, but it's not really preaching anything. It's just saying, I'm black, I'm proud, I'm smart, I'm Spider-Man, women, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they had a couple good songs, but the skits kind of ruined the whole project for me. This was the rise and fall of Logic. I stopped being a fan, but so many other people became a fan because of the 1-800 song. So good for Logic. This was his breakout album, even though if it was by far one of his worst albums. We'll go Young Sinatra 4. Can we put it there? So Young Sinatra 4 was probably my least listened to Logic album. I've already listened to it less than Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, but Young Sinatra 4 was supposed to be going back to his glory days of Young Sinatra and all of his mixtapes and what made everybody a fan. And in reality, I don't think it stuck. I don't think it stuck because he wasn't remixing. I want to use the word stealing because that's essentially what it is, even though if he gives credit to the original makers of the songs, but those were his remixes days. And I don't know, maybe Logic just doesn't make good original music. Maybe I just enjoyed him because he made more modern remix music, if that makes any sense. Like, he remixed old songs and made them new-ish. And as someone who didn't listen to rap until like high school, yeah, it was like a big thing for me back in the day. But Young Sinatra 4 didn't do anything special to me. Young Sinatra next to Young Sinatra 4. Not really much to say. I don't really listen to these projects anymore because they're not like on Spotify. I could always search them up on YouTube, but I mainly use Spotify now. I have all of the Young Sinatra projects downloaded on my computer, but I don't use. I should probably just delete all of them because I don't really listen to music outside of Spotify and SoundCloud, unfortunately. So yeah, Young Sinatra 4 go perfectly together. This was the rise of Logic, in my opinion. This was his first project that I actively listened to, leading up to Undeniable, which we'll talk about later. Young, Broken, Infamous could be right there as well. Just remixes. Logic is a remix god. It looks like remix project, trash original body of work, I guess. And I didn't listen to Young Sinatra 4 enough to tell you what that was about. Unfortunately, just Logic's making albums every year, and unfortunately, they're not good ones like how Kanye does it, where he has different albums that all sound different. Bobby Tarantino 2 was a watered down version, or less interesting version in my opinion, than Bobby Tarantino, which we could nope, this is broken. There we go. I enjoyed Bobby Tarantino because that was after Everybody, I do believe. Was it after Everybody? I'm not entirely sure. It was like, hey, look, I could still rap, blah blah blah. But once again, these were sampled songs, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were bad songs. So yeah, Bobby Tarantino is slightly above Bobby Tarantino 2. Bobby Tarantino 2 had the Joyner Lucas diss, and then it had a bunch of marshmallow sounding songs that are like pop. I'm kind of tempted to put Bobby Tarantino 2 down here, and then maybe Bobby Tarantino. This isn't working. How are all these other YouTubers doing this? There we go. Undeniable, we could put up there at A. Undeniable was the first Logic project that I listened to when it first came out, and it was amazing at the time. Same thing with Welcome to Forever. Undeniable Welcome to Forever, some of his best mixtapes in my opinion. And then Under Pressure, as we struggle to get it. No, there we go. Under Pressure, like I said, I bought it multiple times. I don't know why. This was just me being a big Logic fan. This was my peak Logic fandom in my opinion. You know, I absolutely loved what he was doing. Maybe it's not a bad thing he'll never go back to this type of music. It's not even the type. I think it's just mindset, what he raps about. It's just what the topic of rap that he discusses in his music. It's just so played out. It's nothing new anymore. And then The Incredible True Story. I don't want to say this is the classic section, that The Incredible True Story is his classic projects, because I don't think Logic has a single classic project out. The Incredible True Story, probably the closest thing to that. It was the start of the carryover skits about him in a space station and going to paradise, blah blah blah. The little skits, they were cool while they lasted, kind of interrupted the flow of the album, and I like listening to albums that are cohesive and coherent and just go through without any interruptions, and the skits were a big no-no for me and kind of ruined the experience. But when it just comes down to the music was the best music by Logic in my opinion. Even though, like I said, a lot of his mixtapes were sampled remixes, this has a lot of samples, Kanye being one of them. And maybe Logic just isn't a good original artist. That's what I'm considering filling out this tier list. Maybe he just isn't a good original artist and he just thrives off samples, and that's why he had a little fit saying, oh, I hate samples. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. This one just came out. That's not where I meant to put it, but I'll leave it there, I guess. It just came out. It has Time to Grow on me. Nothing really spectacular. People are hyping up the YBN Cordae track. I absolutely hated that track for some reason. Not good whatsoever. I felt like his two best songs, or at least the songs I kept going back to listening to last night, was Wannabe and Clickbait. He mentions a lot of artists' names on this project. I think it was Clickbait. He was mentioning all these rappers. J.I.D., J. Cole, Lil Peep. Who else? Can't remember. But it just came off as not sincere. It came off like saying, oh, I'm talking about this rapper because I want to be cool with this demographic. I'm talking about this rapper because I want to make music with this guy. Like, that's what it came off as me. It didn't come off as sincere. Maybe Logic is sincere when mentioning all of these artists on, I think it was Clickbait. If not, it was another song. I know Clickbait, he mentions Lil Peep. I'm not sure about J.I.D., J. Cole, and who else? Who else did he mention? I don't remember. But This is my Logic tier list from worst to best. Supermarket being the worst project on here. Everybody, close second worst. A bunch of D albums. Bobby Tarantino in A League of Its Own at C. Undeniable and Welcome to Forever at A. Under Pressure. Wait, whoa. That doesn't make sense. I just realized. Let's go B. Big B. And Big A. There you go. I don't know how that happened. How did it switch up? Was it that the whole time? A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, cool. There it is.